retreat, of the pilgrimage with you. So if there's somehow a way that I could package the 2 weeks and then my extra week, the 3 weeks of pilgrimage with Cassia, with Rome, and with Schoenstatt, and somehow if I could spiritually put it in something to give it to you as a gift, and hopefully from it receive graces, whatever grace God thinks you need of what we offer and did, and that's what this card means. So, simple card, but spiritually meaning I'm giving you credit into, it's like a gift card, you have a gift card that you could redeem in the spiritual bank of the graces that were acquired throughout that 3-week pilgrimage. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
How can it make sense? Just tell me about it. Tell me. So you saw the videos and now you have a piece of it. Okay. What else is that?
But in watching the things on Facebook, especially when you took us to the doors,
The doors? Okay.
and we had a blessing, and that blessing was just as valid and felt just as wonderful as if we were there.
So in many ways, this card now is a visual reminder of the spiritual cybernetic blessings that you receive as I, your pastor, took you and walked through the 4 major doors, basilicas in Rome, with all the blessings that come from entering on the 4 major basilicas, the doors for the Jubilee of 2025, the Pilgrim of Hope, with a new Pope, where everything is now in one part. And
another blessing.
another blessing.
We can always go back to our sacred website and review every one of those messages again. Anytime we need to feel like to go back and review.
So the advantage of it having been virtual is that it now became an eternal present moment. Anytime you feel like it, you can go back and receive the blessing. And this card will be a reminder. So this card now, before it was just a card that would print the logo in, but now it represents the card that 500 people placed petitions on it, 19 pilgrims delivered it in front of her body, the body of someone who's 500 years dead. A saint though, and her body's still there. Just that is a miracle. And then from there, the cards that were not filled up were brought back to you together with all the videos and all the virtual cyber spiritual experiences that we had, because now we had it together. And it's all somehow symbolically incarnated, infused in a little card. Isn't that something?
Yes.
So I'm sure that if you see the card and someone's, oh, do you think I want to throw it? No, don't throw that. No, don't throw that away. It's my card. That's my gift certificate. Of the pilgrimage of the Pilgrim of Hope 2025. It'd be like, just a card? No, it's not. There's something to it. But it's just a piece of paper. So I want you to just ponder about that phenomenon. That's very Catholic. It's who we are. It's like second nature to us. It's not for everyone though. And that in itself says a lot. And how do we think so like this? Well, in the end of it is because in the end God decided to become human. God became tangible. A human being. So if God deems somehow this world to be worthy of his redemption, of him becoming human and being part of it, then even little things like this can have the power to be infused with spiritual graces. Because God deemed it worthy enough for him to become one in this world of space and time.
As we talk about this card,
Mm-hmm.
as Catholics, can I synonymously say, yes, this is a card, and we talk of the representation, but can I synonymously say, just as this is a piece of bread, but it becomes the body of Christ? Can we talk like that?
Yes and no. So, in it, we are, you could say, sacramentally infusing this symbolism with everything else that the whole pilgrimage. The difference between this card and the bread that now has been transubstantiated, the transubstantiation into the body and blood of our Lord Jesus Christ is that is the body and blood, that is Jesus Christ. This is just a symbol that represents all the above.
Right. Different.
There's a difference. And the difference is that's what God wanted us to do. He instituted this. Do this in memory of me. We believe it. We've been practicing it. And we'll continue to practice it, believing that, well, He wanted it. He said it. We've been doing it. And we'll continue to do it because somehow in the end, that's what we'll be doing for all eternity. The eternal banquet of the Lamb. Here is a momentum that spiritually wants to incarnate somehow all that the merits of a pilgrimage. Another example was before I went to a pilgrimage, someone gave me a gift certificate. Was it you that gave me the gift certificate? Something like that? Okay. So it was one for $200. But it's the same piece of paper and size of another one that said 25. But that was only 25 and this was 200. I could go to a store, I could only use it for $25. This one I went to 3 stores and was able to use it $200. Same piece of paper, same size, same company, Visa, but I wish I could put a zero next to 200. But when I do that, when they swipe it, it's only 25. So somehow there's something of what's being fused into it from where you could tap on. So I'm giving you how much merit the value of 3 weeks of pilgrimage is. Priceless, you know. I could also just give you the gift certificate of something smaller, something, a little sacrifice that I did. For example, I was about to lose my patient. I said, no, put the other card. And I didn't lose my patient. And I could write it down on a piece of paper and gift it to someone who might be struggling with a patient. Say, here, it's only good for one time. That's how much I put in it. I only had one count of patient. But hey, you might need it. Just that one to save your life or someone's life. So what you put into it will kind of dictate what the gift has. From perhaps a $200 gift certificate of an entire 3-week pilgrimage to perhaps one little act of patience. But I notice somehow I feel that I have the ability to gift that to someone. So I get that from. Well, that's a whole theological, I'm not even going to go there. But somehow I feel that we can. And we do. Have you heard, I'm sure you probably participated in one of those, especially the Catholic schools. They do, I remember when I was to St. José in West Tampa for, I think it was my birthday or Christian ordination, they did a spiritual bouquet. Have you heard about a spiritual bouquet?
Yeah.
So basically it was construction paper flowers, but for each petal, a class, a student offered a spiritual sacrifice on my behalf. I pray one Hail Mary for you. That's the first graders, you know. And that's the giver. I pray a whole rosary for you. I promise to go visit the Blessed Sacrament for 10 minutes for you. And then they build this spiritual bouquet of flowers of things they do, you know, at whatever their level, and then they gift it to me for my, let's say it was my birthday. So it's like, That's kind of neat. I believe somehow it has merit to it. We say it all the time, I'm going to pray for you. Okay, we say it all the time. I might as well write it down so that I have a little gift to say, look, I pray for you. Now, this is my prayer for you. You see that? Never done a spiritual bouquet? Okay, for my birthday, I'm going to get a lot of spiritual bouquets. You know, you could do spiritual bouquets and include a $200. $25 would be fine. If I could be specific for the garden bistro. Never mind, okay. Delete that part. No, delete it. I public publish it now. Yeah, where was I going with this? I was going with the spiritual bouquet. So now, isn't that what we also do, for example, on the funeral was Tuesday or Wednesday? Wednesday. On Thursday morning, the 8:30 morning mass. You know, every time I celebrate the mass intention for today is offered for whatever it was. On that day, by divine providence, there is no intention picked or written. Meaning, someone went to the office, gave a donation, I would like Father to offer a mass intention for this or that. So, the offering is the mass, right? So, Thursday, 8:30, celebrate, like, oh, no mass intention, woo-hoo, I don't get a freebie once in a while. So, now I have a freebie to use for whatever intentions I want. Usually, whatever is written, I offer that mass for that intention. But having a freebie is like, I get to do my own intention. So I said, okay, I know what I'm going to offer. So I offer the mass intention for Carmen and her family and the funeral that recently happened. They're grieving. This is me loving them by offering them a mass. Eventually, what I'm hoping to do is, which you do when you go to the office, you get one of those cards that says, the mass of such day was offered for the intention of your loved ones. And then the Father signs it, and now you have a card that says this is the mass intention. It's the same thing, it's the same principle. It's a piece of paper that represents something that was offered as a sacrificial offering, as prayer, as some form of spiritual goodness, some form of expression of love, all in one card. Isn't that what we do when we write a thank you note, or a love you card, or a happy birthday, or congratulations on your graduation? How many cards you got? You should just graduated. Oh, what did you graduate? International business? No. International relations. Was it a bachelor or master's? A bachelor. Who's the other one doing it? There was someone else in your family also graduated.
My three cousins graduated from high school.
Oh, high school. So you graduated from a bachelor's in international what?
Relations.
Relations. And when she graduated, I'm sure she got a bunch of cards of people expressing their love. Hopefully with a little gift. Ears are part of the gift. With some, but the card itself expresses love. It's a piece of paper. But every time you read it, it's a love letter. Every time you read it, you feel that love. But it's just a piece of paper with ink in it. It's the irony of you're writing something down on a piece of paper. It's just paper and ink. But it's somehow spiritually and love can infuse even a piece of paper with great meaning and value that could even be gifted to someone else. Does anybody think I'm speaking strange here, or we do it all the time, right?
It makes sense.
Makes sense. Why do we do it? The philosophy behind it, the theology behind it. Eventually, I'm sure I'm gonna have to write something about it. But for now, we can all agree. It's like, yeah, fine, you can write all you want, but yeah, you don't have to convince me. I know it. I do it. It's part of being a human being with relating with people. Okay, I want you to let's just put that for now. So put your car in a special place. We'll come back to that car. Right? And now I'm going to go back to where we left. Right? So we left, and I brought the board over here, different location, but we're still in the same retreat. So we spoke about part 1, part 2, part 3. But what I'm hoping we do as Marian Eucharistic Missionaries. We go out, not just to the homebound, but we're going to start practicing this in our day-to-day living, asking people how they're feeling, looking close at their eyes, hoping and expecting as they speak. I validate with compassion. Part 2, saying, what is God saying to you in the middle of that feeling? You listen, that's to validate, you do your own discernment. And then, the good thing about it is right here, when you're talking to the person, at this moment is when you bring the Eucharist. So, whatever God said to them, that's your segue to bring the Eucharist. Not only Jesus Christ, not only God spoke to you, God is here right now. And here He is. His body, His blood, soul, and divinity. Not a symbol, but a sacrament, which means that it is Jesus Christ present. So not only am I encouraging you to, what is God saying, but even if He's not saying anything, He's here. So what does His presence say to you? And not only saying to you, but He wants to be one with you in whatever it is that you're feeling sacramentally. Meaning, you feel lonely? Well, Christ is here and He wants to enter in Holy Communion with your loneliness. Right? I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling depressed. I'm suicidal. I'm grieving. Well, He's here with me, and He wants to be united. I can only be united to you via compassion, feeling with me. And I'm the mystical body of Christ, a member of it. So in many ways, Christ is mystically embodied, mystical body, feeling with you. But more than that, He wants to give Himself to you, body and blood, soul and divinity. He wants to be in communion with your loneliness, with your sadness, with your depression, with your suicidal thoughts. This is the great Emmanuel, God with us. He wants to be with us. That's the whole reason why He became man. And that's why He instituted the Eucharist, so that we can continue in His memory and having His presence, body, blood, soul, and divinity. So now you have a full package. You're asking how they're doing, very human. You are leading them to God, spiritual direction, and then you give them the Holy Eucharist, full package. You can go home in receiving, because it is in the giving that you receive, but of course, you may also have some other feelings and discernment you have to do on your own afterwards. Not with them, you're there for them, but afterwards with another MEM. What on your MEM hat, I need you to help me process what I just went through. Okay, what are you feeling? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and then what's God saying? Blah, blah, blah. Thank you for listening out. See you later. And hopefully we could do the month. We come together as a group. All right? How has been your pilgrimage of visiting all the people you visited? How do you feel? What is God saying to you collectively? Okay. Now we spoke of all of that, and then we said, but somehow we still have to offer it up, right? I spoke about a piece of bread over here, offer it up, and the other piece of bread in the top being what?
Marian.
That this is about a Marian. What makes the difference between a Marian extraordinary Eucharistic minister with just an extraordinary Eucharistic minister? Your great wisdom was asking the question, and my smart answer was the word Marian. Why? Because that's what makes the difference. We're wanting to do this in a Marian-like way, following the spirit of the visitation. So it's Marian, and there's an offering up. Right? Any questions so far? So now I'm going to go to the next level. Now, for all your peace, take a deep breath. Here now, we're gonna go deeper. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Breathe. Go ahead.
I don't know if that's where you're going,
Let's see.
but I see the offering up. How do we offer up?
Good question. His question was, how do I offer it up? Any other questions? I'm gonna go there. Any other questions? That's an excellent. All questions are good. That teacher says. Yes, all questions are good. Any questions, comments? Go ahead.
I have a comment.
Comment, go for it.
Because I know that, like, sometimes when you ask people for advice, they always say, offer it up to God. And it's like, what does that look like for different people? Because it might look a different process for different people. And not just saying in your way, I'm offering it up to you. How do you internalize that specifically?
Question. So, offer it up. Dave, come on, tell me the other t-shirt. I do not have it. One of his many t-shirts says, offer it up. It also has another one that says, if Dave can't fix it, we're screwed.
That's not well publicized.
It's not, okay. I'm glad you have a word out of church. As we do in the service, altar service. But once again, the question, how do you offer it up? And how does it look for different, how? And that's where I want to go now, into the how. Before I go into the how, I want to make a connection with our poster in the back, because that is the answer of the how. So people will be asking and wondering, why are we doing that anyways? Because that is the how. So I don't know if the cameras are going to follow me or not, but I'm going to go to the back so that they can see in this symbol, through this symbol, all that this entails, I envision a wall like, maybe yeah, thick, just a wall, maybe to the roof there, to the ceiling, and then going out with a big look-alike doorway. It's not a door, this is just a wall. You try to go in, you're gonna bang your hands against the wall. But in the doorway, you have this image, and specifically this image. And there's a reason why this image, and I'm going to explain it because this image and this wall in the shape of this little church provides a methodology, a way of how to offer it up. So I'm going to explain now, but then I'm going to go back over there and then tie it together. But for now, why that image? Should I go with the image first or with... No, it's not over. Okay. After the pilgrimage, pull your card again. Because I have to put into your card something that the 18 people that went with us did not go through. Only I did. So I'm going to have to put some of it in myself. You also know what's in this card. After our pilgrimage left from Rome back to the city, I took another plane and I went the opposite direction, literally opposite direction. Instead of going towards Tampa, I went farther away. I went to Germany. Geographically speaking, so I went there one day to get there. And then I stayed there for 3 days. Sort of a private silent retreat for 3 days, meditating, reflecting, thinking, a a lot of tension. And then one day to come back. So it took an extra 5 days, 2 traveling and 3 in the retreat. So in this card that I'm gifting you, it also has the extra bonus of 5 days in Germany, specifically going to the Schoenstatt Shrine, the original shrine of Schoenstatt, that is in Germany, and the name of the town is Schoenstatt. I went to the original place where this lay Marian Apostolic movement began in 1914. So someone give me the math. How many years? 111 years ago?
Yes.
And 111 years ago, someone who is the fruit of that spirituality was going back to its original places before even I was born, before my parents were born. Right? Yes.
No. No, you're not.
Oh, so you don't know that's my mom right here. And she's 111 years old. No. She looks 50, but don't be fooled. You know? And I'm a fruit of Schoenstatt because my mom and my dad are a fruit of Schoenstatt. So the movement, and as it began with the founder, Father José Kentini, one of his many spiritual children was Deacon Jesus Maria Pagan and his wife Hilda. They, in many ways, became spiritual role models that formed my mom and my dad, and they formed the spirituality of Schoenstatt that they learned from the father. So Father Joseph Kentini training one of his disciples, the Pagan family, who spiritually adopted my parents and raised them in this church, and then out of that came me. So I'm going, how many generations? 1, 2, 3 generations. And going back to where that same founder, Father Joseph Kentini, started the Schoenstatt movement that had an impact on the Pagan family, who had an impact on my parents, who had an impact on me. So for me, it was a pilgrimage all the way to the beginning of something before even I was born. My spiritual descendants, if you want to speak that. So what happened? How did it begin? A little quick summary. So this is Father Joseph Kentini, October 18, 1914. He was the spiritual director of a couple of seminaries. He was the spiritual director at the Palatine Seminary in Schoenstatt, Germany. And he was already seeing World War I about to come. He's concerned for the kids because they're going to be drafted and they're going to go to war. And eventually, all of them, pretty much all of them did. Many of them died. He was concerned, okay, how can I, as a spiritual father, somehow help them before they get drafted, before the war? What can I do? And he proposed to them something. Before he proposed something, he's working with the seminarians, but not just for example, when I was in St. Vincent de Paul Seminary, there must have been, let's say, 100 seminarians. Let's say out of the 100 seminarians, maybe 20 had a special inclination and devotion to the Blessed Mother. And they decide to form a little Marian Seminary Club. And they get together, pray the rosary, and do all Marian stuff. So I kind of had that experience in my own seminary. There's something was similar in this seminary. There was a group of seminarians who were part of they call it a sodality, but it's an ancient word. Maybe something more modern would be like a Marian club of the seminaries. And he was the spiritual director of that. And then they were meeting at the chapel in the seminary, but they felt that he had the privacy because anybody could walk in and interrupt him, and then let's have a little clubhouse. They asked the rector, they said, okay, if we take a building or some place and make it into our Marian club. And then the rector gave permission, and what they did is they took a little shrine, which was the little shrine of the cemetery. You know how you go to cemeteries, and people are buried, and once in a while you see like a little grotto, and some of them you can actually come in and maybe 2 or 3 people fit in, or 4. Maybe sometimes they got a lot of money, they build a bigger one. It's always locked in. You saw the movie Coco, like the guitar guy has a little shrine. You know what I'm talking about? You didn't see Coco? How many times you saw Coco? Oh yeah, So the idea is, well, at least in Mexican culture, that's very typical. It's also typical in Germany. Actually, when I went in one of the videos that I made, did I do that for sure?
You did.
I think it's for sure.
You did it
For sure, I did a little. As I was driving towards the original shrine, I happened to see the same structure, the same design of a shrine, and I go in, and it was a cemetery, and it's actually a shrine, a memorial shrine for the soldiers who died in World War I and World War II of that little town. But it was the same shape, and it's the shape of that, of the little shrine. It said, the one I saw, you come in, and I'm talking about you come in, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and here's the wall. And so, and then in the wall, they had the name of all the soldiers of that town, little town, who died. And that was like the little memorial. But when you step out and you look at it, it's the same sign, except you can walk into it, and it has a couple of steps into it. So it's part of the architecture of that town and of those people. So they had a similar shrine next to the cemetery where they buried the Palatine priests and brothers, but it was all torn apart, and it was really in bad condition because it's what they used to keep all the tools to take care of the cemetery. So to cut the grass, the machete, the rake, to shovel the snow, whatever. So they asked the rector, can we use that, fix it up, and make it our clubhouse? And the rector, the God gave him permission. And they all went in and fixed it up, and made it nice and pretty, and painted, and fixed the roof, and swept it, and made it into their own little club. And the day that they were blessing this little cemetery shrine, it used to be a shed, and now is the little Marian club of the seminarian, Father José Cantonish, who's been praying and discerning about this for a while. Okay, so that's number one. Down and up. Second, I want you to remember I'm going to use bigger words. Contribute. And receive. So this would be our second. So one is down and up. Our second one is contribute, receive. Now I'm going to go with the third one. The third one right here. Distribute. Instrument. So first one, down and up. Number two, contribute, receive. Number three, distribute instrument. So now that you remember those three lines, I'm going to give you the summary of what Father José Cantonish proposed to the seminarians at the Marian Clubhouse that they just about to bless, and it's called the Farming Doctrine. He says, what if we could ask the Blessed Mother to come down right here, the mother and the child. How are we going to do that? Well, okay. What if we strive up for holiness, for the highest ideal? I am sure we're striving up for the highest ideal. Our Blessed Mother can still come down with the child to help us. But then, all what we do as we strive for holiness, if we did it or if we failed it, everything contribute. We're gonna offer it up. We're gonna give it to her. We're gonna lay it down. But we're gonna lay it down in the shrine. Right here. And what if Mary receives what we offer her and give it to her, and she can not just receive it, but she can enhance it, make it better? Because whatever merit of our good acts, she is the one with full of grace. So whatever graces come with my word, she got more of it, full of grace. So I'm going to contribute. She's going to receive it, but enhance it, make it even better. In this shrine, not out there, in the shrine. And then whatever we contribute that she receives and enhances, she then distributes from here, from that shrine. So that anybody who comes to the shrine can receive from what we have contributed and is enhanced with our Blessed Mother. And when people come, she distributes. Therefore, we become her instruments of depositing, contributing, but also bringing people to this original shrine so that they can receive the graces that we brought, Mary has enhanced, and Mary is distributing. Pretty simple. What a reasonable proposal. Down, up, contribute, receive, and enhance. She distributes, we become instruments. And that's what Father Joseph Cantonish, in offensively simple words, offensively, because someone who's read the whole document is like, you really dumb it down, but hey, I'm just giving you an introduction. Hopefully you'll be curious enough to read the document itself. It's really short, it's only 12 paragraphs. But I just gave you the dummy version. Not that you're dummy, but I need dummy ways to remember things. Okay, so it's not you, so I'm the dummy. So, first one, down, up. Second one, third, so Father Joseph Cantonish is proposing to the seminary, what about if this little Marian clubhouse, we make it into a place of grace? Like, we strive for holiness and are good and failures, we're just going to offer it right here. Let Mary take it, because if she's here, she'll take it. But then this place to be a place of grace so that she distributes what we have given her, but she's full of grace, and she got more to offer. So now we're contributing. Now we're collaborating with the Blessed Mother. We're partners. We're her instruments. We bring, we offer it up. She takes, she enhances it, she distributes. We bring people to the place. People experience it, receive the graces, and it's happening. That simple proposal, known as the founding document, living this out is what is known as the covenant of love. The covenant of love. Why is it a covenant of love? Because in the end, covenant takes two parts, right? I draw a line right in the middle. This is what the Blessed Mother is doing, Mary. And this is what each ally or consecrated person, or a person who's made the covenant of love, that's what they do. So Mary comes down, that's her part. But my part is to strive up. My part is to offer it up, give it to her. Her job is to receive it and to enhance it. Her job is to distribute it. My job is just to be her instrument and keep bringing people and my contributions to that concrete location, concrete place. So that the place itself, almost like the car, instead of a car, is an entire structure, a building that people can go in, or in this case, we want to go wayside shrine, it's just a wall. People can be drawn into the wall, and by praying before the wall, they can receive what others have contributed in the hands of Mary, that Mary has in hands and is ready for anybody to come and receive. We bring people to it, we deposit and contribute the merits of our good or our not so good things. And people can come to a place and get the credits without necessarily having the credit card. This becomes a credit card. The building itself. It's just a wall. It's just a piece of paper with some ink. But it's not a piece of paper with ink. It's not just a wall. It becomes the throne of grace to which I contribute and to which Mary receives and distributes by asking the mother with the child. I'm bringing the same spirituality, the same proposal, the same understanding to our parish. For that wall to be more than just a wall, there needs to be people who are asking her to come down, who are striving for holiness, who all their efforts they deposit in that place. Mary will receive them. Mary will distribute. We need people who then become instruments, allies in covenant with Mary to make of a wall not just a wall, but a throne of grace where the mother and the child Jesus and Mother Mary are present and there for all to come and receive. That's what I dream the Marian Eucharistic Missionaries will become. The ones who, from our wayside shrine, from our parish, says, Mary, because we want to be Marian Eucharistic ministers, in the spirit of the visitation, that's why we want you, Mary, to be the one here with us, to help us strive for holiness, to help us be those who go out there to ask people, how are you feeling? To ask people, what is God saying to you? To be the one that brings Christ Jesus Eucharistically to the world. But I need your help, Mary. I wanted to pray about this, so can you come and help me? I'm really striving up. And Mary's like, oh, he's so cute. I can't go there. I can't help it. I'm so proud of that boy, that girl. She's going to come down because we're striving for it. And then the question, once I've done 1, 2, and 3, what do I do with it? There's the answer. You offer it to her. In my case, if you go to my house, you will find in the center of my little rectory a little shrine with the image of the Blessed Mother. I have a little jar. I brought this too because I want to illustrate different things. But imagine, in my case, I have a big jar. This is a small one. But basically, what I do at the end of the day is I literally write down all that I've gone through the day, and the credits of that day, I say to Mary, all yours. I'm contributing. Mary, and it'll be like, oh, he's so cute. Be like, oh, oh, he didn't lose his patience. And then let's say someone comes to my home shrine, and because I invite them, come over, and they're like, oh, this is so pretty, this little shrine you have here. And I'll typically say, well, sit down and look at the chair. It's the chair where all this is happening, all this dynamic is happening. I sit down and pray, I talk to her, I lie down, and I will sit down. That's the throne right there. That's the throne of grace. You sit there, you're going to receive an unlimited amount of graces of not just the things that I wrote down, but even the things that I forgot, because they're all in that chair. They all happen in that chair. You sit down, and let's say I'm really struggling with my custody. And the Blessed Mother is there looking at you, like, you need some patience. And she gives you the graces. But graces that you contributed, she has enhanced, and you entrusted, that she will know who to give it to. And she distributes. And in doing so, you became her missionary. So this is what I live. You want to know the secret of my spiritual life? I just shared it. This is how I live my life. No more secrets. After 3 years with you, it was time for you to learn from your father, giving you the best that I got, which is what I have learned, how I live my life, so that you in turn go out there as a Marian Eucharistic missionary and do likewise. But with a spiritual foundation to sustain you. The question, how do I have her? What do I do with it? You give it to her. You give it to her, but notice the picture. This is why the importance of this image. It is the mother that is the child and the mother. Because if you, there's a phrase I like, I don't know where I read it. Maybe I made it up, I don't know. It says, when I say Mary, Mary says Jesus. And when I say Jesus, I say it with Mary. They're one. So when I say Mary, Mary's saying Jesus. And when I say Jesus, I'm saying it with Mary. See, there's this, Father Joseph Kemplich referred to it as there's a bi-unity. That's his mission. Father Joseph Kemplich will speak of the mission of St. Joseph. He says the mission of St. Joseph was to be the protector, the provider, and the promoter of the intimate and indissoluble bi-unity of the child and the mother. All that, it's another retreat that I'm preparing for on July the 7th to the 11th, where I'm giving a conference to diocesan priests to promote them to do like what I'm doing right now with them, with their own parishioners. But with that said, let me just hold on a moment for now and just give some time to chew on. It's 10:50. Let's take a 10-15 minute break. Let's come back, and I want you to come back with the natural questions that should arise after we discuss what we discussed. Ready? So